Hey, today we're going to discuss an event where free content will be handed out, go over the major order news, and chat about what the community manager had to say about a crossover. Plus, there's so much more to discuss. If you've enjoyed my content in the past, consider supporting the channel by clicking the thumbs up button below the video. So, let's jump right in. Let's kick off today's video by talking about free content. For those on Xbox, if you didn't know, Liberty Day is coming up on October 26th next month, which means brand new free content will also be arriving that day. Last year, we received an armor called the DP00 and the Constitution Rifle, which a lot of people were excited about. That is, until the majority realized it wasn't worth using. But besides that point, in Helldivers 1, players also received a Constitution Rifle, just like we did in Helldivers 2. There's a common theme here because both games handed out the same exact items. The question is, with Liberty Day just around the corner, they might hand out an item that was originally given in Helldivers 1 and bring it to us in Helldivers 2. Here's a list of items the developers gave in Helldivers 1 each year. There was a developer cape, a community cape, by the way, I have something to add to that in a minute, and a new Liberty cape. Plus, essentially, there was the grenade launcher's turret, thunder smoke stratagem, and an MGX-42 machine gun that essentially was a minigun to some degree. I personally am looking forward to a new minigun stratagem. I believe it would make a lot of Helldivers out there happy. If Arrowhead continues their recent trend of giving us items from Helldivers 1 Liberty Day, then if they give us a new stratagem like the AGL-8 launcher, technically these two would be new to many of us who didn't get the chance to play Helldivers 1. Also, if you'd like to see how the MGX-42 performed in game, here's a GIF or GIF of it, and here are some things to know about it. It was a disposable stratagem with 300 rounds and had a high fire rate. If it's not a new free stratagem, then it could be a free cape. To be honest, I don't want another free cape. I'm honestly over the whole free cape stuff. Nevertheless, if it is, then it might be a community cape or a developer cape. It'll be interesting to see what the free content will be this year, and I'm certainly excited about it. So if you could pick one piece of free content, what would it be? A free stratagem, maybe the last 7 Trident shotgun, or would you like a free cape? Feel free to post a response below and let's see what you have to say about it. We're now going to briefly go over the galactic map. If you recall, 2 or 3 days ago there was a dispatch with a minor order that instructed us to liberate Varelia or Chipisa. At the time, many Helldivers assumed this minor order was handed out so we could unlock a new free stratagem. However, if you've watched one of my previous videos, we found out that this wasn't the case, and the developers clarified that it was just a way to support the major order we currently have. With that said, you can see on the galactic map that we failed to liberate either planet. In the dispatch, High Command had this to say. They wrote, "No additional materials could be procured for the weapons manufacturers. Extracurricular armament initiative, these workers' hands will remain tragically idle while off the clock, and weapons productions will proceed according to schedule." Yeah, that's what they had to say about the failed minor order. I believe the main reason we failed was that there was no reward attached to it, except for the possibility that we would have received a free stratagem slot, either an Emancipator exosuit or some sort of orbital stratagem, something we already have, right? You can see why so many Helldivers were not motivated to finish it. Plus, it's not like we absolutely needed the minor order to help us win the major order. Speaking of which, there's good news. We're well on our way to winning the newest major order, as we've completed all the objectives and secured Mentoria, which is great to see overall. High Command also had something to say about this, and they stated, "Subsurface habitat technologies from the mine on Mentoria are being dismantled and reverse engineered. Upon remantling of these repatriated technologies, mining operations are set to resume under the planet's rightful Super Earth flag." I think this is interesting because something great is going to come out of this story-wise, right? If you check out the planet Mentoria, you can see there's a new icon above it, and I'm wondering what this will bring in the future. Will we discover new samples, or will it be used to mine some kind of material to improve our stratagems, like mechs? Like I said, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and despite recent events with Helldivers 2, I'm still excited about the story. Now, despite me basically telling you, yeah, we captured Mentoria, well, it seems we have an issue now. And I just recently checked the galactic map a few seconds ago, and you can tell, yeah, the bots have decided to attack Mentoria once again. They're over here at Zanaya Prime supplying Mentoria, which means if you Helldivers want to, you can, of course, liberate Zanaya Prime, which would stop the attack of Mentoria. Just letting you Xbox divers know about that, because this is called either a strategic move, or basically what players call it is a gambit. And that essentially is when you attack a planet that is supplying another planet to stop the attack on the planet that's being attacked, if that makes sense. Yeah, regardless, that's what's going on, so keep an eye out here. I suggest that you head over to Mentoria right now. To defend this planet, it is a level 28 invasion, so we're better off, you know, I don't know, I think we should just stay on this planet. It says we're winning, so yeah, stay on this planet. Don't worry about the gambit, although that would be a great idea to knock two birds out with one stone. However, you're better off sticking to Mentoria. Moving along, we're going to go over a post created on the Helldivers subreddit page, where a Helldiver named Independent Ring 7183 made a great point about realism. We can see there's an image on the left that is the Devastator armor, and on the right is the Cinderblock armor. This Helldiver pointed out that the Devastator has 3 magazines on the front, not to mention the passive is fortified, while the Cinderblock doesn't have magazines on it, but has the Siege Ready passive, which is intriguing given that the whole idea behind certain dev decisions in Helldivers 2 is based on realism. If that's the case, then the Devastators should give you extra ammo, basically the Siege Ready passive. I also saw another Helldiver posted a great comment below this post, essentially stating that the FS61 Dreadnought armor has a ton of grenade launcher ammunition. Instead of giving more ammo for your grenade launcher, it has the servo assisted passive that increases your throw range by 30% and also provides a 50% limb health. If we're talking about realism, right, then those two armors should provide more ammo. It only makes sense. I thought this post was amazing, and it goes to show that realism shouldn't be a thing in Helldivers 2 to some extent, because the rules don't apply to armors, as you can see. And sometimes realism can ruin the fun in games. Now, to be fair, I'm saying it can sometimes ruin the fun, not completely ruin the fun. Okay, continuing along, what we're going to do here is take a look at Helldivers.live stats. I've done this previously in the video prior, where we went over the stratagems, we went over the armors, and all the other stuff like weapons as well. What we are going to do now is take a look at the grenades, the throwables. We can see that thermite is in first place, while high explosive, impact, and gas are on the bottom here, with high explosive being second, impact being third place, and gas being fourth, and frag is fifth. What's interesting about this list, if we go towards the bottom, we can see that the smoke is not used as much, either is the throwing knife, which is not surprising. What is surprising to me is the urchin isn't used as much. I think it's a fun weapon, or a fun throwable in my opinion. I think what they need to do here is definitely make the throwing knife useful. I know a lot of Helldivers have suggested that they turn it into a throwing explosive, which I think is an absolutely phenomenal idea. There's also the arc that's not used as much. Neither is the stun. But yeah, it just goes to show they need to make adjustments, balance, possibly buff certain weapons, or throwables, I should say. I think a throwable that absolutely needs a buff as well is the dynamite. I'm pretty damn sure that you can't use it to blow up fabricators. I might be wrong. I'll provide a clip here if I am wrong, or if I'm right, I'll just provide something. That is very interesting, given that it's a dynamite, right? It's supposed to explode things, like blow them up, but yeah, it doesn't. It goes to show that a lot of these different stratagems, or, you know, things we've talked about in the past, even throwables, for example right here, most of these throwables that come from the war bonds are practically useless, besides the thermite, which is used the most. Anyways, I'd like to know, what do you think? If you could pick one specific throwable, which one would you like to see buffed? Leave a comment below and let's see what you choose. With everything being said, the winner of the Xbox key giveaway is Captain Chunky. If you can, make sure to send me a message on the Glitch Unlimited Discord and I'll provide the key to you. Also, we do have the top 3 comments, which I'll go over right now. The first top comment comes from Shin Dukes and said that he guessed Arrowhead wants to give the Xbox players the same exact experience that PC and Steam players had at launch. The second top comment comes from Dr. Bambo. If I'm pronouncing that right, you think it's very mind-boggling that Arrowhead won't release an optimization patch or some sort of patch that just fixes a lot of issues with performance. I think you're right. It kind of sucks with the whole new content and all that stuff, right? We don't need new content, we do, but at the same time, we need optimization more than anything. The third top comment comes from MSGTA MMO Dude A393 that talks about the audio issues, lockups, and crashes, and how they're very annoying or rage-inducing. Yes, they absolutely are, especially the audio issues are just annoying at times. I'm surprised we cannot laugh on the ship anymore. I know that was an issue that they resolved in the past, yet it re-emerged. Yeah. Anyways, those are the top 3 comments. Hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, consider tapping the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't done so already. Thank you to everyone that stops by. As you guys know, I'm going to say the same thing as I always do. Thank you to everyone from the subscribers, members, and lurkers. If you're lurking on the channel, subscribe. It's completely free. You're not going to get charged. Just tap the subscribe button and turn on the notifications by tapping the bell icon.